Welcome, viewers. Today we're diving into a topic that has intrigued, concerned, and sometimes frightened many Americans. Why America is scared of Russia. We will explore the top 10 reasons, counting down from the 10th to the 1st. From military might and cyber warfare to geopolitical strategies and historical legacies, we will uncover the multifaceted fears that shape this complex relationship. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 10. Military modernization and expansion. Russia's ongoing military modernization and expansion are significant reasons for American concern. Over the past decade, Russia has heavily invested in modernizing its armed forces, developing advanced weaponry, and expanding its military presence, particularly in Eastern Europe. This includes the development of new tanks, aircraft, submarines, and the deployment of sophisticated missile systems. The 2014 annexation of Crimea and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine showcased Russia's willingness to use its military to achieve strategic goals. This aggressive stance raises alarms in Washington as it directly challenges NATO's eastern flank and increases the potential for military confrontation. The U.S. views Russia's military capabilities and assertiveness as a destabilizing force in global security. Number 9. Cyber warfare and election interference. One of the most pressing concerns for the U.S. is Russia's capabilities and actions in the realm of cyber warfare. The alleged interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election brought this issue to the forefront. Russian hacking groups, reportedly linked to the Kremlin, have been accused of stealing information, spreading disinformation, and undermining the democratic process. These cyber attacks are not limited to elections. They extend to critical infrastructure, government agencies, and private companies. The SolarWinds hack in 2020, attributed to Russian state-sponsored hackers, compromised numerous federal agencies and corporations, highlighting the vulnerability of America's cyber defenses. The persistent threat of cyber attacks from Russia creates a constant state of vigilance and concern in the U.S. Number 8. Nuclear arsenal and strategic capabilities. Russia possesses one of the largest and most sophisticated nuclear arsenals in the world. The balance of nuclear power between the U.S. and Russia has been a cornerstone of international security since the Cold War. However, recent developments have renewed fears of a nuclear arms race. Russia's development of new nuclear delivery systems, including hypersonic weapons and nuclear-powered cruise missiles, represents a significant threat to U.S. national security. These advancements challenge existing missile defense systems and complicate strategic calculations. The potential for miscalculation or accidental escalation remains a serious concern for policymakers in Washington. Number 7. Geopolitical influence and alliances. Russia's strategic maneuvers on the global stage, particularly in regions of American interest, contribute to the fear and mistrust. Russia's support for the Assad regime in Syria, its influence in Libya, and its growing ties with China present significant challenges to U.S. foreign policy. Russia's ability to project power and influence through a combination of military intervention, political alliances, and economic partnerships undermines U.S. efforts to maintain stability and promote democratic values worldwide. The formation of alliances that counter U.S. interests, particularly with nations like China and Iran, adds to the complexity and danger of international geopolitics. Number 6. Information warfare and propaganda. Russia's mastery of information warfare and propaganda poses a serious threat to American society and democracy. Through state-controlled media, social media campaigns, and covert operations, Russia aims to influence public opinion, sow discord, and destabilize political systems. The spread of fake news, conspiracy theories, and divisive content has eroded trust in democratic institutions and created polarization within the U.S. society. The sophistication of Russia's information warfare tactics makes it difficult to counter, as it exploits the open and free nature of American media and communication channels. Number 5. Historical legacy and Cold War tensions. The historical legacy of the Cold War continues to shape American perceptions of Russia. Decades of rivalry, propaganda, and military standoffs have left a deep-seated suspicion and fear of Russian intentions. The ideological battle between capitalism and communism, though largely resolved, still casts a long shadow over current relations. The collapse of the Soviet Union did not eliminate the strategic competition between the two nations. Instead, it transformed into new forms of rivalry and mistrust. The historical context adds a layer of complexity to every interaction between the US and Russia, making cooperation difficult and suspicion pervasive. Number 4, economic sanctions and retaliation. Economic sanctions imposed by the US on Russia for various reasons, including the annexation of Crimea and interference in elections, have led to significant tensions. These sanctions target key sectors of the Russian economy, including finance, energy, and defense, aiming to pressure Russia into changing its policies. In response, Russia has engaged in economic retaliation and sought to undermine US interests globally. The ongoing economic warfare has strained relations and contributed to a cycle of action and reaction, increasing the risk of broader conflict. Number 3, energy politics and resource control. Russia's significant role in global energy markets, particularly as a major exporter of natural gas to Europe, gives it substantial geopolitical leverage. The US is concerned about Russia using energy supplies as a tool of political influence, particularly in Europe. The construction of pipelines like Nord Stream 2, which bypasses traditional transit countries and increases Europe's dependency on Russian gas, is seen as a strategic threat. The US has opposed such projects, fearing they will undermine European energy security and increase Russia's leverage over US allies. Number 2, espionage and intelligence operations. Russian espionage activities in the US and against its interests worldwide remain a significant concern. The history of Russian intelligence operations, from Cold War spy games to modern cyber espionage, has created an atmosphere of constant vigilance. High-profile cases of Russian spies, cyber espionage incidents, and intelligence breaches have reinforced the perception of Russia as a persistent threat. The ability of Russian intelligence to penetrate American institutions and gather sensitive information poses a direct challenge to national security. Number 1, authoritarian governance and ideological conflict. At the core of the fear and mistrust between the US and Russia is the fundamental difference in governance and ideology. Russia, under Vladimir Putin's leadership, has embraced a model of authoritarian governance that contrasts sharply with American democratic values. The ideological conflict between democracy and authoritarianism is not just a matter of political theory, it translates into real-world policies and actions. Russia's efforts to undermine democratic institutions, support autocratic regimes, and challenge the liberal international order represent a direct ideological threat to the values the US stands for. Conclusion: the relationship between the US and Russia is complex, multifaceted, and fraught with tension. The fears that drive American perceptions of Russia are rooted in historical legacies, geopolitical strategies, and ideological conflicts. As we have explored, these fears manifest in various ways, from military threats and cyber warfare to economic competition and intelligence operations. Understanding these reasons is crucial for grasping the broader dynamics of international relations and the specific challenges that define U.S. Russia interactions. The future of this relationship will depend on how these fears are managed, mitigated, or exacerbated by the actions of both nations. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into why America is scared of Russia. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, please subscribe to our channel and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps us bring more insightful content to you. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.